So, of course, it seems like you guys have not seen me in forever, and that's because I've been a little bit under the weather to start the new year. So, first, I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year's 2023. Absolutely crazy given the fact that I graduate this year from high school. Absolutely surreal that it's 2023 already. However, getting off of that topic, I'm going to take you guys through two very interesting sports topics today. The NBA All-Star Game. The first voting results have come out. Of course, LeBron James in the league. Big surprise there. However, before that, I'm going to take you through my college football championship talk. This is not going to be a for sure prediction, but I am going to tell you which team I think has the best chance of winning, and I'm going to take you through both teams in general and their overall seasons. But, of course, before I get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, of course, I'm going to start off with TCU. TCU is 13-1 with their only loss coming to Kansas State in their conference title game. They have the 5th ranked offense in the entire country, and they beat Michigan 51-45 in the Fiesta Bowl that saw superstar wide receiver Quentin Johnston put up 163 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely amazing by TCU. I mean, they controversially got into the poll. A lot of people thought that they were going to be kicked out and Alabama was going to be invited in to the college football playoffs, but no, they didn't decide that. A lot of people like TCU shouldn't be there. However, they did beat Michigan, so hey, who can you really argue with, right? Now, going into their Heisman candidate, Max Duggan has put up an incredible season. 3,546 yards, 36 touchdowns on only 6 interceptions. Absolutely amazing by Max Duggan. I'm really enjoying what he's been doing for this team. Now, of course, going to the other side of their offense, getting away from the passing, going to the rushing. TCU has one of the best rushing attacks in the entirety of college football. They have 3 players who have ran for over 400 yards this season. Overall, I think this team has a chance against anybody. I think their defense is pretty good. I don't think they're amazing, but I think they're good enough. However, their offense has been an absolute machine this year. They are going to give anybody they go against a challenge. I think TCU is a very great challenger in this national title. Now, of course, going to the next team, the team who they will be challenging, the Georgia Bulldogs, UGA. 14-0, and they have easily been the best team in college football all season. They are ranked top 5 in defense. They are ranked top 10 in offense. Now, going into their semifinal game, if you will, they beat Ohio State by a score of 42-41 in the Peach Bowl, which was a thriller of a finish. Let's just say the Ohio State kicker couldn't make a kick, and Georgia really did escape with that one. Now, of course, going into UGA's Heisman candidate, Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett has passed for 3,823 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions with one of the best QB rates in the entirety of the country. Now, just like TCU, UGA also has a very good rushing game. They have 3 backs with over 500 rushing yards this year. Now, of course, going into Georgia's defense, arguably the best part of their team for the last 2 seasons, they really did great this season. They've been one of the best defenses in college football for as long as Kirby Smart has been there pretty much. Now, their defense did let them down last game, which was very concerning. However, I think UGA is going to make a nice rebound this week, and I do have them favored by 2 touchdowns in the national championship game against TCU. Now, of course, getting away from that topic, I do think UGA is going to win that game. Should be very exciting. The game comes on tomorrow as of the recording of this video, so I hope everybody goes to watch that, and I'm definitely going to have a report for you guys after the game is over. Now, whether UGA wins or not is pretty much going to dictate my mood for the video. I'm either going to be sad or I'm going to be happy, but it's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to be there. Now, of course, going into my NBA All-Star Game selections, I tried to make these as least biased as possible, because all you guys know by the look of my room, I am the biggest Atlanta fan in the world, all right? I will stay on that for my entire life. I'm the biggest Atlanta fan. But of course, going to my All-Star Game picks, I'm going to start you guys off with the Eastern Conference. Now, my first guard, I have Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie is having the best season of his career so far. I feel like he's super efficient. I think the Nets have finally found a way to use all of their players, which is why they're one of the best teams in the entire league so far. Their new head coach has been absolutely magnificent. Kyrie Irving's having a great season. He's averaging 27 points, I want to say. 27 points a game, 26 points a game. Kyrie's having a great year along with Kevin Durant. I feel like he is most definitely going to be a starter in the All-Star game. Now, of course, going to the shooting guard, the other guard position, I have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell just dropped 71 points in an NBA game. 71. Go ahead and say that to yourself. Absolutely ridiculous. Donovan Mitchell's having an amazing year in Cleveland. Cleveland they're about at their expectations. Everyone expected them to be good. They're a pretty good basketball team as far as the year has come along. Donovan Mitchell's been the best player on that team, averaging nearly 30 points a game. Most definitely going to make the All-Star game. Now, at the small forward position, man, and this is a hard one to tackle. You got to pick between Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum. But I think Kevin Durant is going to be the starter here. I feel like Jason Tatum's having a great season. I think the Celtics are a great championship caliber team. But I think Kevin Durant, with having arguably the most efficient scoring season of his entire career, is going to be the starter. And, of course, the fans vote. You have to remember that. So it's kind of a popularity contest at the end of the day. So I think Kevin Durant's going to take the small forward position by a decent margin. Now, going to power forward. The best player in the league, in my opinion, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, how can you not choose him? The guy dropped 55 a couple of days ago. He had 2 straight games where he had 40 points and 20-plus rebounds. Absolutely amazing player. Now, he did recently have a little boo-boo game against the Hornets, but, they took him out of that game early. So I'm going to count that against him, but I'm not really going to, let that weigh heavy on my decision. Giannis is going to be the starter. He's a great defensive player. He's an MVP caliber player. Giannis is going to be the starter in this All-Star game. And of course, going to the center position, who else do you pick in the Eastern Conference? Come on, guys. It is Joel Embiid. 30-plus points for the second straight year in a row. He's averaging nearly 10 rebounds a game. The 76ers are atop the Eastern Conference right now. Joel Embiid is no doubt the starter for this NBA All-Star game at the center position for the East. Now, of course, going to the Western Conference, things are going to get really interesting here. At the point guard, first guard, I have Luka Doncic. I mean, how can you not select him? 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. The guy's averaging a dang near 35-point triple-double. The Mavericks have been winning games recently. This guy is one of my favorites for the MVP. Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. Now, the Luka versus trade, it gets a little bit more unfair as long as we watch it, and I don't want to delve too far into that conversation, but as an Atlanta fan, this one stings me a little bit. Not going to lie to you guys. However, Luka Doncic is having a ridiculous season. He is going to be the all-star starter for the point guard position. Now, going to the other guard position, shooting guard, if you will, I decided to slot in Ja Morant. Ja Morant has stayed fairly healthy this season. The Grizzlies are a really, really great basketball team. Ja Morant's averaging 27 points a game, having the same caliber year as he pretty much did last year. Maybe a little bit lower on the point production. However, the Grizzlies are just as good. If they get healthy, they can definitely make a run in the playoffs. Ja Morant is in my second guard spot. Now, going to the small forward, the 38-year-old, also the leader in all-star votes in total in the first little realm or section or whatever you want to call it of voting, LeBron James. It's LeBron. What else do I need to tell you? The guy's averaging 29 points per game as a 39-year-old in his 20th NBA season. Man, I don't even know. I don't have much to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of words. I don't know how LeBron James is 38 years old and still arguably a top 5 player in the entirety of the NBA. It's ridiculous. Now, going to the power forward position, this one is really, really debatable because the top 2 power forwards in the Western Conference are both injured. Yeah, they're both really injury prone. The guys I'm talking about are Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson. So I ultimately think another guy's going to take over. But if one of these two make the All-Star game, I think it's going to be Zion. AD has missed some time. Zion Williamson has really lived up to the hype this season. I just pray to God that both of them can stay healthy, man. Zion's an amazing player. And if he stays healthy, he can put up possibly a historically great season. So I'm going to put Giannis in the starting spot, not Giannis. I'm going to put Zion at the starting spot in the power forward in the Western Conference, And of course, going to center. Center, another guy who's averaging a dang near triple-double, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is averaging something like 26, 10, and 9. Nikola Jokic is an amazing player. He's not super athletic. He's not a guy who's going to cross you up and hit you with all the layups, but he gets the job done. 26, 10, and 9. MVP candidate once again. The Nuggets are a great team. I think Nikola Jokic has that starting spot on lock in the Western Conference. But of course, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notification bell. Just help me out a little bit. 2023, I'm trying to go crazy. I'm trying to spread good vibes, trying to give you guys great content. So I'm really, really glad that I could get back on here. As you can tell, my wind is still a little bit, you know, iffy, but I'm getting it back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting it back. I'm glad to be back in front of your faces on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay loved, stay blessed. I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for watching.